portals to alternate dimensions, time travel, mind-altering experiments. These might just sound like science fiction tropes, but there have been government projects that have explored all of these things and more. These are secret government projects that hint at parallel realities. The Large Hadron Collider, or the LHC, is one of the most impressive scientific machines ever built, designed by the European Organization for Nuclear Research to smash particles together at near light speeds, because why not? But for all its scientific greatness, there are a lot of conspiracies surrounding it. That the LHC can create black holes or open portals to other dimensions. People have even talked about the possibility of the thing accidentally ripping a hole in our reality and letting something from another universe slip through. One of the more popular conspiracy theories is that CERN, or CERN, is trying to open a gateway to another dimension. The idea is that by colliding particles at such high speeds, they could create a rift in space-time, allowing access to parallel universes. There's also a theory that CERN is trying to contact alien beings or gods from these other dimensions, and that the machine's true purpose is far more sinister than just smashing atoms, which is already pretty nuts as it is. Now, none of these theories have any real scientific backing. The scientists at CERN have repeatedly told the public that the LHC is safe and that it can't create black holes or tear open the fabric of the universe. But to be fair to the conspiracy theorists out there, I mean, they would say that, wouldn't they? Who's gonna come out and tell the public, like, yep, oh yeah, we've been just trying to open a gateway to another dimension and make contact with entities in other realms. Don't mind us. Keep giving us your tax dollars, please. The Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, or AATIP, operated from 2007 to 2012. It was a top-secret government unit tasked with investigating UFOs. Now, a few years back, a series of AATIP documents were declassified. Apparently, they'd also been looking into invisibility cloaking, anti-gravity technology, wormholes, and even extra dimensions. Nick Pope, who used to head up the British government's UFO research, got his hands on some of the documents related to AATIP. The exact nature of their work is still a bit of a mystery, but what's clear is that they were looking into some really strange technology. Serious research was being done on things that could potentially bend the laws of physics as we know them. What's even more interesting is the connection to UFOs. The Pentagon confirmed that AATIP investigated footage of Navy pilots encountering a strange glowing object near San Diego. The object rotated and had a mysterious aura around it, and no one's been able to explain what it was. Now, when the AATIP claimed that they looked at UFOs as less of a possible alien threat and more of a foreign threat, that other countries could be developing technology far ahead of the US, UFO does just mean unidentified flying object after all, but Nick Pope thinks that maybe AATIP may have known more than what they were letting on, and that the talk about foreign advanced aerospace threats was just a cover. If they really were delving into things like wormholes and extra dimensions, could they have been trying to figure out how UFOs move the way they do by bending space and time? Were they exploring technologies that could open doorways to parallel realities? The Avro Canada VZ9 Avrocar was a real project that almost sounds too crazy to be true, an attempt to build a real flying saucer. Back in the 50s, during the height of the Cold War, the US military was trying to find new ways to get the upper hand, and that included experimenting with some pretty wild ideas. The Avrocar, which was developed by Canadian aircraft manufacturing company Avro Canada, was one of those ideas. It was supposed to be a vertical takeoff and landing, or VTOL, aircraft that looked just like the UFOs seen in countless B movies at the time. The idea was that this flying saucer could hover like a helicopter, but fly like a plane. It didn't work out. The Avrocar had all sorts of problems, mainly with stability and speed. When they tested it, the thing could barely get off the ground, and when it did, It was wobbly and hard to control. By 1961, the project was scrapped. But maybe that's not where the story ends. Some conspiracy theorists believe that the Avrocar was just the public face of a much deeper, secretive project, and that the military continued working on flying saucer technology in secret. Some think that the US military may have actually succeeded in creating an advanced flying saucer. Project Mannequin is said to be a secret program run by the British and US government, focusing on creating super soldiers. According to the theory, Project Mannequin involved serious experiments on human subjects, trying to enhance physical and mental abilities using advanced technology, even tapping into other dimensions. The idea behind this project is that the government was, or possibly still is, trying to create soldiers who could do what no normal person can: enhance strength, telepathy, and even the ability to manipulate time and space. And how is this achieved? Well, through alien technology recovered from UFOs. Now, some whistleblowers, and yes, there are actually people who have come out claiming to have been part of this project, well, they say that Project Mannequin was involved in experiments with time travel and parallel universes. The claim is that by understanding how different dimensions work, the government could train soldiers to move between these realities, giving them a huge tactical advantage. After World War II, the US government secretly brought over more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians to work on American projects. The thing is, many of these scientists had worked for the Third Reich, and some were even members of that party. This isn't a conspiracy, this actually was a thing. The US was in such a rush to get ahead of the Soviet Union in the Cold War that they didn't care. They thought these scientists were going to give them the edge in all sorts of scientific fields, mainly when it came to rocket technology. One of the most famous scientists brought over was Wernher von Braun, who had been heavily involved in the Third Reich's rocket program and later played a major role in the US space program. But was there more to Operation Paperclip than your more conventional scientific pursuits? There have always been rumors that these scientists were also involved in more controversial research, like work in mind control, psychological warfare, and possibly even experiments related to alternate dimensions and parallel realities. The High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, or HAARP, was and is very controversial to this day. Officially, HAARP was a research program in Alaska designed to study the ionosphere. It used a huge array of antennas to send high-frequency radio waves into the ionosphere. Scientists hoped this research could help improve communication systems, navigation, and weather prediction, but there were a lot of people who were highly skeptical about this. HAARP became a target for tons of conspiracy theories, mainly that it was a secret government project designed to control the weather, cause earthquakes, or even manipulate people's minds. Others took it a step further even, suggesting that HAARP was being used to open portals to other dimensions or parallel realities. The idea behind these theories is that by bombarding the ionosphere with radio waves, HAARP could somehow tear open the fabric of space-time or create wormholes that connect our world to alternate realities. Some theorists believe that HAARP was trying to tap into these other dimensions for military reasons, maybe to gain access to advanced technology or even to communicate with beings from other realities. I mean, if you're dipping into other realities and tearing into them, why not talk to the people there? You'd probably have a lot of questions to answer for them. The Montauk Project, a supposedly top secret government program that may or may not have been part of the inspiration for Stranger Things. It's said that this project took place at Camp Hero, an old Air Force base in Montauk, New York. After the success of the Philadelphia experiment, which allegedly involved making a naval ship invisible and accidentally teleporting it, the US government decided that they were going to try to push the boundaries even further. The Montauk Project worked in advanced psychological warfare techniques, mind control experiments, and the creation of a time portal, supposedly. The project supposedly involved abducting young people and using them in these experiments with the goal of harnessing psychic abilities for the military. Some stories even go that the project managed to open portals to other dimensions, allowing beings from alternate realities to enter into ours. According to some conspiracy theorists, these experiments were so dangerous that they eventually had to be shut down, with the base's records and evidence erased or buried deep in classified government files. Project Looking Glass is a conspiracy theory that the government developed technology capable of seeing into the future and even observing events in parallel realities. Supposedly, the project was part of a bigger effort by the government to understand and possibly manipulate time and reality itself. The technology, often described as a device or machine, allowed users to peer into different timelines or dimensions, giving them glimpses of potential futures or alternate versions of reality. And by observing these different realities, the government could predict events before they happened and influence the course of history. And they're kind of like Paul Atreides and Dune. Some versions of the theory claim that the device could even allow people to travel between these alternate realities. Imagine being able to see how different decisions would play out across different timelines, or accessing advanced technology from a parallel universe. I mean, why wouldn't you do it? Project Pegasus. This is a lesser known but highly intriguing conspiracy theory which involves time travel and teleportation experiments supposedly conducted by the US government in the 60s and 70s. Now, according to those who believe in the project, it was part of a secret program under DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, aimed at developing technology for time travel and interdimensional exploration. A lawyer named Andrew Basiago from Vancouver, Washington, claims to have been a participant in these experiments when he was little. He stated that the government had successfully developed time travel technology using a device based on the work of Nikola Tesla. This device was known as a chronovisor, supposedly allowing participants to travel back and forth in time and even visit alternate realities. He said he was sent on multiple missions, including a trip to witness the Gettysburg Address and a visit to the future to gather information for the government. He also said a young Barack Obama joined him on some of his adventures. The Stargate Project. Now, unlike some of the projects I've talked about on this list that are more conspiratorial and may or may not have actually existed, Project Stargate really did. It's more of a question as to whether or not anything actually came of it. The US government ran this program from 1977 to 1995, and the purpose behind it? To explore the potential of psychic phenomena for military and intelligence purposes. Yeah, the Montauk Project not really sounding all that crazy now, is it? Stargate was specifically interested in what was referred to as remote viewing, the ability to see or describe places, people, or events without actually being physically present there. The CIA, along with other military and intelligence agencies, funded and ran these experiments, often working with people who claimed to have psychic abilities. They figured that if they could train people to accurately see distant locations or predict events, it could be a powerful tool for espionage and warfare, which, it certainly would be. In 1995, though, the project was terminated, at least officially. The story is that Project Stargate was ineffective, not reliable enough for practical use, but some believe the government actually continued the research in secret. After all, if even a fraction of the remote viewing claims were accurate, it would be a game changer for military operations. With all that said, I've been your host, James, and I'll catch you, yes you specifically, in the next video.